This is the 2026 Range Rover Sport, and it is a great luxury performance SUV. Hey everybody, it's Tom from Vehicle Visionary. I hope you're having a great day. We're back at Land Rover of Shreveport, and we're going to give you all the particulars on this P360. If you want to know more, if you want to come in and buy it, check out the link down in the description of the video. And we'll take a quick look here at the front end. We're going to have our classic look with the upper grille, the lower grills, all of the different logos that are here. I do like the fact that the Range Rover logo itself with the gray finish on it stands out so nicely against this exterior color. We're gonna have that same color down here with our upper grille. That's gonna look nice. And then as we work our way down, you'll find some gloss black with the lower grille areas. And then we're gonna have our LED lighting. So let's talk about what we have here. LED headlights, LED daytime running lights, LED high and low beams, all of that's going to be here. And then we have our sensors here on the front end. You're going to see in a couple of different areas. That means you got a lot of great safety features and different things like that. All your different sensors for parking, it's all going to be here. And there is your front view camera. Now we're going to work our way around here. This model will come with all-wheel drive only. So if you need all-wheel drive, that's going to be a nice thing to have. Now these are going to be the optional 22-inch wheels. A lot of people might say those are 21-inch wheels. That's standard. However, you can upgrade to these 22-inch wheels. It has the gray finish on it. I like that it has more of a matte finish than a gloss finish in this particular case, because that's likely to not show the damage that gloss finishes are known for showing. Now we'll have the nice look with the faux vent here. As far as the way this looks, it looks like it would be a vent, but it's not. That's not only going to be here on the hood, but also on the fender. It'll be in a few different areas. I do like the color contrast, a few different finishes that we have here. You know, it's not a bad place for gloss black right there for a few different reasons. Now, we're going to show you the remote right here. Nothing changing for 2026, but you're going to have lock, unlock. You can open and close your power tailgate, and you're going to be able to turn your headlights on right there. As far as that goes, just push the button. Basically, locator lights is what that is. That way you know where it is in the parking lot after dark. With your side view mirrors, we're going to have the turn signal indicators built in. You can see them flashing right there. They're going to be heated, power adjustable, power folding, and blind spot monitoring will be built in. You do have the deployable door handles for aerodynamic purposes and just the cool effect that it also has. When you lock the vehicle, when you go into drive, that's where they're going to go back in, or they deploy out when you unlock the vehicle. Nice large windows makes it very easy to see out of in every area. You also have your panoramic sunroof. We'll take a closer look at that when we get into the interior, and your shark fin antennas up here. There's two of them because you have so much technology here, and they're going to be with a gloss black finish. And as we work our way here to the rear, again, LED lighting, you can see those are on right there. The LED tail lights, our Range Rover logo, just like what we saw with the front end, is going to be here. And the nice clean look back here with the absence of the exposed rear window wiper. It doesn't mean it's not here, it's just neatly tucked away within the rear roof spoiler. One more thing, coming back to our side doors, I didn't mention earlier in the video, these are also going to be our soft close doors. That means you don't have to close them all the way. If you close it about like that, you'll notice that goes in. It's going to be the front door and the rear door. Just a nice little convenience. We don't have to slam the doors shut. Or if you're that person that gets out, and you remember years ago when we used to close those and it wouldn't close all the way, you just bump it with your hip. You don't have to do that here. Under the hood of the P360 is the 3-liter inline straight six. It's a turbocharged engine, and we're going to do something right here, show you what's underneath all that plastic. 355 horsepower, 365 pounds-feet of torque from this turbocharged 3-liter. 0 to 60 in 6.8 seconds, top speed about 130 miles per hour, and it is mated to an 8-speed automatic transmission. Now we're going to work our way over here to the window sticker. We're going to talk about potential MPGs. These are not guaranteed, but here are the potentials: 20 city, 25 highway, 22 combined, and 4.5 gallons of gas per every 100 miles driven. Speaking of gas, now we'll come back over here to the right-hand side. You have a 23.8 gallon gas tank, and on a single tank of gas, you should be able to drive about 428 miles in the city, about 547 miles on the highway. Again, just like those MPGs, not guaranteed numbers, they're potentials. You might be above, you might be a little bit below, and you also can see that you have a fuel cap here as opposed to capless fuel fill. Max towing capacity comes in at 7,700 pounds. Now I'm going to show you something here real fast. You have the controls right down here. When you push those forward like that, that's going to lower the seat backs down just like that. And when you maximize your cargo space, well, first of all, let's talk about the minimum cargo space, 31.6 cubic feet and up to 72.1 cubic feet with the seats lowered like that. You've got your cargo organizer right here, just kind of a handy dandy way to have extra space. Underneath the floor is a spare tire. And something else that I want to show you right here, we're going to raise the vehicle up on its air suspension. That's something else that's a big benefit here. Depending on what your situation is with loading or offloading cargo, you can raise the rear all the way up like this, or you can also lower it all the way back down. So if it's too high up and you're saying, yeah, that doesn't work for me, you can lower it back down. A lot of versatility going on here. And one more thing here in the interior that I do want to show you real fast. In fact, a couple of things here. We're going to have a 12-volt power outlet right there and a little bit of interior lighting that's going to be on each side. You also have your cargo cover right here. You can bring this back and put it in place just like that to move it back out of place. You can pick up on it like I just did right there, and the whole thing is removable if you want to take advantage of all of the space. And to bring the seat backs back up into their upright position, we just pull on those two buttons right there. You can do one or the other, and you can see that they do come up in a fairly quick manner. Let's talk about what your backseat passengers are going to find. You will find the privacy shades right here. Now, they are manual as far as that goes. They'll be put in place without the use of a button, but that's okay, not a big deal. We have the power shade right here for the panoramic sunroof. I had that drawn forward because I don't want too much light coming into the interior in this scene. And something else that's nice here on the door panel, I can use that button right there and recline the seat backs. So these are adjustable. You can recline or take a little bit of recline out, whatever your passengers want to do with that. They can move it back up just like this. We're going to have the fold down armrest right here with a little bit of storage space built in right there. Got that nice comfortable felt material just for that luxury feeling. And the button right there deploys the cup holders. Put that back in place and move that up there. Air conditioning vents on the rear of the center console. You also have your 3 stages of outboard heated seats, as you can see right there. We'll have a power outlet down here. Quite a few connectivity options. A power outlet, a 12-volt power outlet, and a couple of USB ports. How about the sticker price? $93,180. Let's see what else you get for that price beyond what we've shown you. We're going to start here with the upper console area. We're going to start with the rear view mirror. Now you can see that you can use it as a conventional rear view mirror if you want to, or you can use it with the digital version. The button right here on the left-hand side, we hit that to bring up our settings. So depending on what we want to adjust, you can adjust brightness. We hit that again. We can adjust the angle, and we'll move up to the upper console area right here where you can open and close your sunroof, your power shade, all of this. Here's where you open and close the sunroof. This is for the shade. You can tell by what's on there. And we'll move over to this area down here. We're going to have 2 different buttons. You notice the down and the up arrow. This is for the glove box, the lower glove box. And then we're going to have our upper glove box right here, a little bit more in the way of connectivity option there with another 12-volt power outlet. And I'm going to close that back up. On the passenger side door panel, we're going to have the controls for adjusting the adjustable seats along with seat memory. Plenty of space with the armrest and the door bin. Now we're going to go ahead and switch places here. We'll go over to the driver's side, and I'm going to show you what we have over here. Again, seat memory and controls for the seats. Now one thing you might notice is you don't see lumbar support, but guess what? That doesn't mean it's not here. It's just in the center screen. I'll show you that in just a bit. Controls for your side view mirrors, your windows, all of that's going to be here. And then we can come up here to the steering wheel. Everything for doing such as turning your heated steering wheel on and off, your adaptive cruise control. Here are your shifter paddles. the back of the steering wheel for working your way back and forth through the 8-speed automatic transmission. Voice controls, or voice command, I should say, voice commands right there. And then we can go in here and make some changes to several different things. You would have your head-up display settings. I don't know how well you can see it right here, but it is there, obviously, based on the fact that you can see this has the adjustments. Vehicle settings will be here too. We're not going to go through everything, but just to show you a few of the things that are here as far as your different options go, depending on what you need to see or know about. A very nice looking digital driver's display. Definitely gets the job done. It does have the analog style gauges. Everything is ultimately digital, but you do have those analog gauges there, and also you'll know what you're doing with the transmission, whether you're in drive, whether you're in neutral, or whether you're in reverse. We're going to also go into park, and you'll see the P right there on the right-hand side. You also have your digital speedometer with your traffic sign recognition. A very comfortable steering wheel here as far as that goes. I like that. You've got the control here for your front and rear window wipers. On the left-hand side, you control your headlights and taillights and your turn signal indicators. And we'll move on to our center screen. Pivi Pro infotainment system. I really like that. If you need to turn the auto stop-start feature on and off, you're going to do that right here. You have several different options here as far as your driving modes go. You can see everything that you have from dynamic, comfort, eco. You have auto terrain response, grass, gravel and snow, sand, mud and ruts, and you also have wade mode. Now you can actually go through some water here if you want to, and still need to be aware of that. There's actually a way to do that here. We're going to go here into our center screen, and you can actually come in here and find your wade sensing area, and that's going to be right here. That's going to let you know what's going on and how deep a water you can actually go in. So depending on what you're doing, you do have all your different options here. You also have your hill descent control. If you want to turn that on, you can turn that on right there. Another area where you can turn the auto stop start on or off depending on your personal preferences. We have our 4x4 info. You can see which direction your front tires are turned. You can see your different angles up here. As you can see, the degree of angle that you're driving depending on the terrain you're on. And then you have more options right here as far as the driving modes, and then your ride height right here. Now, one thing to note is that you can go to off-road if you want to, and when you go into off-road mode, you'll feel the air suspension working. It raises the vehicle up. You have off-road 2, you have off-road 1, and it's going to let you know. You can see what's going on right there until it's finished. You can also go to access if you want to. That's going to drop it down, obviously, make it a little bit easier to get into. Now, when you get up to, I think it's 15 miles per hour, it's going to automatically come back to normal. So it doesn't stay in that configuration. I do wish it did, because that looks really cool. You do have the ability to wirelessly pair your smartphone. You have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto here, and I'm going to come right in here, and we're going to go right here on the screen, and you're going to notice that you have a few different settings here. When we come in here to more, you can see that you can fold things if you want to. You can also adjust, and here is where you're going to find your lumbar support. There it is right there. I told you about that. You can adjust the bolsters. You can work with your cushions and your headrests. So if you were curious about some of those things, that is where they are found. Now we also have everything here for the radio. You have navigation. You can connect a phone if you want to. We can also come in here into settings, let that screen come up, and here's where you're going to make some adjustments to the screen. If you want to use dark theme or go to your light theme, you can turn the screen off. You can see what all is here. You can come in here into the home screen and edit the layout. You can also adjust your audio from this particular portion of the screen with treble, bass, and subwoofer, or we can even go to all, and you can just see everything that is here. I'm going to come back out of that, and we're going to go right here. I'm going to show you all of your different views with the cameras. There are quite a few. Depending on where you need to see, you can work your way around. You can go around to the front, just like this. We also have our front view camera. I showed you that earlier in the video. There is our rear view camera, and you obviously have several different views you can choose beyond that. And when you go into reverse, the cameras are going to come up too. Depending on what you want to see, you can do that. And there is that 360-degree view one more time. You also have your off-road view. that you can use. So if you need to see what's right in front of you, if you're in a situation with difficult terrain and you want to be able to see that, it's dark, whatever the situation is, you can take advantage of that. And we'll work our way down here. We're going to find a lot of piano black. Don't be playing the piano on that. There's your wireless charging pad right there. That can be concealed away if so desired, or we can leave that open and get to that area. Wireless charging pad is there, as well as our shifter that fits perfectly in the palm of my hand. I really like how that works. You just push the button on the front and that lets you go into reverse, neutral, and drive. To go back into park, you push the P right there. There's the button for starting and stopping the engine. And underneath this area, we're going to find our cup holders, but that's not all we find here. You also have a USB port right there and a lot of space within this area for additional storage if you want to take advantage of that. And then you just move that back into place. We can conceal that away. And while you do have the fold-down armrests built into the seats themselves, I prefer to just use the center console lid as an armrest, just a little bit more comfortable that way. And then we're going to have the interior of the center console. It is fairly deep. Okay, here we go on our test drive. And I know a lot of people might say, well, with that 3-liter 6-cylinder making 355 horsepower, I can't imagine it being too much fun to drive. Well, if you drive in dynamic mode, it actually gets down the road quite well. It may not be the quickest thing around. I know the 0 to 60 is not super quick, but for the average person, this is definitely going to do the job. It's going to get you down the road, get you up to speed, whatever you need to do without a problem. But in addition to that, you definitely have the ability to do some things that will help you. If you run into a situation with high water in your neighborhood where you live, you've got wade sensing mode, you've got all of that's going to help you out. You can do some off-roading, and I know a lot of people who own these Range Rovers will never take them off-road, but they are capable of going off-road regardless of what people might think. You saw all of the different driving modes earlier, and depending on what you need, well, you can take advantage of that. All-wheel drive is also going to be beneficial where such things are concerned. And beyond that, you're going to have the great advantage of such a comfortable ride quality depending on where you're driving. The air suspension is going to help out tremendously, and it's also very maneuverable for a mid-size SUV. And we'll accelerate a little faster this time, not too much, but you might be surprised, like I say, with the acceleration of this Range Rover. Being the P360, obviously not the most powerful model you can buy, but it will do the job. A lot of space in the front and second row seating areas for the driver and all passengers. The driver's seat is very adjustable with all of the different adjustments available between that and the steering wheel. Anybody of any height should be able to be comfortable here. You have so many different adjustments to deal with that make it so easy to set things up, whether it's with configuration of the driver's area or with different settings for the vehicle itself. A lot going on here, a lot of great options as far as that goes. And it is ultra comfortable. These seats are so comfortable, you're not going to have any trouble enjoying those nice long road trips and staying comfortable, arriving nice and rested at your destination because you didn't have to deal with an uncomfortable experience driving back and forth wherever you may be going. Overall, a very well-rounded vehicle. The technology is easy to learn and use. That's always nice. Everything is within reach of the driver. The only thing I wish was different here personally is I wish there were more controls that were not in the screen, but instead were physical buttons, such as things like the air conditioning. I think that most people would prefer that over the clean look that is here, that is intended by putting all of those controls in the center screen. And there it is, the 2026 Range Rover Sport, a great luxury performance SUV. And keep in mind, while this may not be the most powerful engine option available for the Range Rover Sport, there are other options available that make a lot more power if that's something you want. I would like to say a special thanks to my friends at Land Rover of Shreveport for loaning us this Range Rover for the day so I could tell you all about it. And a special thanks to all of you for being kind enough to give me the opportunity to give you a vision for your next vehicle. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to hit the like button, make sure to subscribe and share this video video on your timelines on social media so other people can see it. And if you would like to learn about additional vehicles you may wish to consider purchasing, check out the video that's on the screen right now, and we'll see you there.